Hello, hello. Um, Welcome to we're doing a tier list ranking of the visual novel arts. Um, Kind of a birthday special since it's being uploaded on the channel's birthday. So happy birthday, channel. It's been a good year, as we shown in our New Year's video if you're interested in that. If you don't know me, welcome. My name's Aiden. We do like some weeb variety stuff, but we do a lot of Higurashi. The channel is pretty much built upon Higurashi, so I think this is fitting to do. It's something I also said I would do, like maybe not a tier list exactly, but like reviewing all the arts. But I kind of never got around to it. Maybe we'll do like more in-depth reviews of them later, but this is kind of a more basic, quick explanation, just showing our opinions. So these are the ratings. I've never done a tier list before, but I think it's easy. As you see, there's no actually bad thing, because I don't think there is a really art that I wouldn't say I enjoyed. Like, I think minimum good is the bottom tier right now. Also, just saying all my opinions. I think I have some hot takes, but who knows? But yeah, let's get started. First off, I haven't played any of these, so we're doing it on the original 8. So we'll get to them eventually, but like, I don't even know what they are. One of them's probably the one where Rika dies on a bicycle, because we watched Ray. But besides that, okay, how do we even start to tackle this? Let's just go in order. Onikakushi. Where would Onikakushi go? I think I would honestly put, it's either amazing or great. I really like Onikakushi. Obviously, it's the intro starter, so everything starts there. So it's very fond in my heart for there. It has the Rena chase scene, which is like one of the best moments in Higurashi, in my opinion. Like top 5. It's really like smartly written, in the sense that when they revisit it in Tsumihoroboshi, how you can read it as Keiichi's just misunderstanding the majority of the things happening is really cool. It's just a really like solid arc. Now, the one thing I don't like about Onikakushi, and I think I might be the only person who has this opinion, because I don't think I've ever had anyone agree with me. Like last time I tried to argue with this person, we got into like a long conversation, and then he started quoting Alfred Hitchcock, and I was like, dude, I'm getting fucking destroyed. Even though I don't think it was a debate, it was more a friendly conversation. But I think that Onikakushi would be better if they did not have the intro of Keiichi killing Rena. Again, I don't think anyone agrees with me, but I think it's just the principle of showing Keiichi killing Rena adds some curiosity. Like, how did this happen? Compared to like if you didn't show it, and when it did happen, it would be shock. Because, at the moment, right before the killing, you don't know what's gonna happen. If you didn't know about Keiichi killing Rena, you'd probably be like, oh, is Keiichi gonna die? What's gonna happen? Is Oishi gonna save the day or something? But like, showing it, that Keiichi's just gonna kill them. So, I don't know. I don't know. I've heard the arguments. And you might roll your eyes, but, I like to compare to Umineko Chapter 6. And I know, like, people, like, definitely agree that the opening to that is bad, I think. At least more than Onikakushi. But it's the same effect, right? It's the idea that you're sacrificing shock and surprise value for anticipation and curiosity of how the event happened. And I just think surprise and shock value is like almost always better in any story. So Um, where do I want to put it? Maybe like, we'll keep it at amazing for now. Okay, Watanagashi. If you know me, you already know this is top tier. Watanagashi is definitely my favorite question arc. I think there's so much to love about it. First, I think it's like the perfect sequel to Onikakushi, since Onikakushi really focused on like, or at least like your first reading impression, at least in my experience, was that it definitely leaned towards more of a curse idea, while Watanagashi just switched it up completely and went on like the full, like it was really hard to like even think it was a curse after Watanagashi, in my opinion. So I thought that was like a really cool idea for a sequel. I think the character developments finally like hit a really nice mark, because Onikakushi, I like the characters, but I'll be honest, Mion was my least favorite club member, and I didn't really care about Keiichi. Obviously just because of how paranoid he was in Onikakushi, so I couldn't really vibe with him as much, and Mion just seemed kind of boring to the rest. But after Watanagashi, Mion was my favorite, and she continued to stay my favorite throughout the arc, and I started to really like Keiichi after seeing like the final, not the final confrontation with Shion, but like the, you know, the torch room confrontation. And I think it's like, besides like Minagoroshi, it's probably like the highest like characters like leveled up, in my opinion, like leveled up in like how much I like them. So that's good. I think mystery wise, it was kind of the funnest arc to theorize about. Like obviously the ending with learning both Mion and Takano was already dead when you met them was like really cool to think about. It's also when we started, at least again when I started thinking about the clinic stuff, which obviously was right. So that was cool. Some great moments. I think obviously the whole, not Shion stabbing Keiichi, but the stuff before that, like going into the Sonozaki underground house and stuff, was like top tier. I really love Keiichi screaming at Shion on the phone. That's something I thought was awesome. Those are probably like my favorite moments from Watanagashi. But yeah, Watanagashi is easily my favorite question arc. Alright, Tatarigoroshi. Now we're talking, dude. This is my hottest take yet. I don't like Tatarigoroshi that much. I think I explain it a lot in my Go reaction videos, but I honestly think it's just that I don't like being frustrated, dude. And it's not even like me dissing the writing at all. It's more like, because I think it's good, and obviously that's what Ryukishi was trying to do. He was trying to get you frustrated and angry at the Satoko situation. It's just like, as a reader, I don't want to feel that way. You're too effective, man. Like I can handle being depressed. Depression and sadness is fine in stories for me, but like frustration, it's just like headache inducing. It's not fun at all. And I feel like that's the majority, or not the majority, at least the first, or maybe it is the majority of Tatarigoroshi. I'm just like, get me out of here. Obviously lots of Satoko development, but like I loved Satoko from day one, which I guess is like more of a hot take, because I know like it was more, at least from what I know, a lot of people like Rika more. Like I think even in the anniversary character popularity poll, Satoko is like the bottom of the club members, before Go and stuff, if that matters. But like I don't need this Satoko development, man. It's just just keep her as a meme character. I don't know. I think it's also like kind of a long arc. That being said, there are good moments. The last hour of Tatarigoroshi was pretty sick with the disaster and Keiichi, you know, with Satoko and finding Rita's body was probably like my favorite moment of Tatarigoroshi. I really liked Rena's pop-off when like Rena scolds Keiichi for being naive, I guess. Killing Teppei was interesting, but like It's kind of like the chase scene from another perspective, which was kind of cool from Onikakushi, but like it wasn't as like good as it. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep it on great, but I think it's definitely below these two. I don't know if that's a hot take. I feel like people really like Tatarigoroshi. Um, it's just not for me, dude. Himatsubushi, it's gonna be our only good one, obviously. I think no matter what you think about the other arts, you kind of just have to put Himatsubushi on good. It's definitely like important to the story. I know he kind of memes saying that you can just skip this one, but it's more like a um, it's more like it's kind of like a low key hype up for Matsuribayashi, showing how the most quote unquote useless fragment kind of just saves the day. I mean, it has good aspects. Like I enjoy the general feel of the story. It feels like a detective Japanese movie, which I kind of like. But you know, minimal main characters. Akasaka was fun to follow, but like it's just not as good, I think. Um, Top moments from Himatsubushi, the Mahjong game was like awesome. The ending was kind of great. Like I think I almost cried during the epilogue when with the Wishi Akasaka and Miyuki in the future. But yeah, we'll just put it there. So yeah, that's the question arc ratings. We might move some stuff later, but now we're on the answer arts. Mayatashi. 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 Is it amazing or great? It's definitely not as good as Watanagashi in my opinion. And you're like, Aiden, why? They're like the same story. It's like, it's just not as fun. Like, and I think that's just the general case for like every like just getting the answers to the mystery is like never as fun as just experiencing it. It made me like Shion a lot more as a character, to be honest, but um I always still just preferred Mion. So I thought the Shion, it's almost like a gimmick chapter, just looking at Watanagashi through a different perspective, and you're like, Aiden, it's actually not Watanagashi, it's a whole different fragment. Yes, I know that, but like it's basically the same thing. um yeah, like I think it's good to have, but it's like not, it's just not as not a good, it's not as a good experience. For now, I'm gonna put it behind Onikakushi. We might move some stuff around. Okay, hot take incoming. Tsumihoroboshi. Honestly, I didn't like it. It's like Tatarigoroshi tier. It kind of suffers from the length problem too. It feels way too long for me. And there's just some parts I hate about. Not, well, maybe not hate. I just really dislike. I really dislike the scene at the garbage dump where they do the friendship circle stuff. I don't know what about it is, but for some reason I just get cringed out, and I think it's just too much anime power. And you're like, what does that even mean, Aiden? It's kind of hard to explain, but maybe it's like just too melodramatic. And you're like, Aiden, the whole series is kind of melodramatic, and I agree, but I think it's like more melodramatic than normal. I also like really dislike the final duel on the rooftop, which you might call me crazy, but in the visual novel, it is just so long. It's like 40 minutes. And like, I honestly preferred, and these two scenes I'm talking about, I honestly preferred them in like anime form, just because they cut it down into like a reasonable thing. But like in the visual novel during the duel, like it just goes on, and then the spectators start cheering for both of them, and I'm just like, what is happening, dude? Why are you cheering for Rena? She tried to like kill you. It's just so odd to me, and I guess the tone is just different. That being said, there are still some good moments in Tsumihoroboshi. I really love the beginning part with Rena's backstory. I thought was very interesting, especially her flashback stuff with explaining the whole situation with her parents was really cool and kind of relatable. um, Keiichi's backstory was fun. Rika meeting Rena in the garbage dump was fun. The whole Oishi versus the Sonozakis was like a tool to like showcase how twisted the world is, because like Rena's just super unlucky that all of these pieces are just falling into place to make her syndrome level higher by being more suspicious and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know, dude. It's just not a great read for me. Honestly, like the best part of Tsumihoroboshi is that like Rena was like kind of right at the end, which is funny because it kind of like negates the whole like Keiichi's whole speech, telling like, oh Rena, if you think you're the only sane person in the world, that's what a crazy person would say. It's kind of a good meme. But yeah, I'm just trying to put it behind Tatarigoroshi, honestly. It's so hard to tell because I hate being frustrated, but I think there's just more quote unquote bad scenes in Sumi. Okay, Minagoroshi, if you know me, you know me. Also, like, I believe tier lists are like left to right, so yeah, that's how it's ranked. If you know me, it's really hard to rank Minagoroshi. It's definitely my favorite of the answer arts, but like it's almost like two different stories. You get the Tatarigoroshi mirror, then you get the Takano stuff. The Tatarigoroshi mirror, I know I just like kind of went off on Tatarigoroshi, but it's way easier to digest than Tatarigoroshi just because they're actually doing something. They're not all just doomering around. So I liked the Satoto stuff. The drum song is like one of the top OSTs in the visual novel. It got me hyped. It was still a little bit slow and a little bit frustrating, but like not nearly on the level of Tatarigoroshi. It was kind of cool seeing Keiichi regain his memories again slowly. That was like a really cool scene. This is also when you finally start following Rika and get like the truth of the world, at least like what's happening, which was obviously cool. But now we talked about the Takano stuff. Honestly, like probably the best scenes in Higurashi, in my opinion. It's honestly peak Higurashi for me. I love the Takano stuff, specifically like from Oishi death to end. Like they go over the syndrome, which is super interesting, though a little long-winded, but obviously important to learning what's actually happening. But dude, from Oishi's death, which was like, it's not unexpected, but it like still kind of impactful because I was like, dude, that's my boy and he's dead. To like Rika and Satoto escaping, to everyone joining up. And you know, like this is the second last arc, so I kind of expected them to like not make it through. But the way they presented things just like honestly just made me like believe for a couple seconds. Like I was like, oh my god, they're popping off, dude. And then Keiichi just gets freaking shot. And it's honestly like definitely the most emotional part in Higurashi for me. Like I was visibly like crying, like hard crying during reading the whole Minagoroshi scene. You can find it on the channel, though I suggest you don't because it's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, Keiichi, like the whole sequence where time stop, Keiichi tries to like motivate others to continue to save Rika, but like when time actually starts and he dies, everyone breaks down anyways, even though they kind of try to steal themselves. And then just Takano slowly executing them one by one. Like Mion's death was still like the most brutal in my opinion, because you know Mion's the cocky leader role, and like unlike everyone else who kind of like put up a fight, she was just like, no, don't. And I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. But yeah, it's peak. It's honestly like the best part of Higurashi. And even after that, even showing the great Hinamizawa disaster was like super depressing and fun to watch. And it hits you with like the best song in Higurashi, in my opinion, Hollow. Dude, that song still just makes me sad as soon as it comes on. But I freaking love it, dude. It's honestly like the best Higurashi arc in my opinion. Like even if like the first half of Minagoroshi with the Tatarigoroshi stuff would probably like land it like in the middle between these two. The last part is just unbelievably like 10 out of 10, so it's easily my favorite arc. Matsuribayashi, it's a hard one. I think it is either right behind Onikakushi or right above it. It's a fun finale. It kind of has the meme energy the finale of Umineko had. I love the Takano revelation to her story arc with Tomotaki and Irie. It is the arc that really like boosts my opinions of characters. Like I love Takano after Minagoroshi, but the Takano backstory was really great. And I think the Irie backstory was also really great. Irie was always kind of a neutral character to me. I know it's kind of I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I know Irie is like kind of a mixed bag for people just because he's kind of a pervert, though I think in my opinion it's mostly just in jest, like nothing serious, so I don't really mind it, but but you know, I understand. But his backstory with his father and stuff was like so good. I think Tomotaki, we got like no Tomotaki really before that, so just getting any Tomotaki was pretty great. That being said, like it's such a weird arc with the fragment collecting at the beginning, which took me like a couple hours to finish. Again, everything kind of moves slower if you're recording it for YouTube, but like it was kind of a slog, man, and probably like replay value not very fun to do. but like the beginning with the Takano backstory, ending with I believe it's called You Destructive version, was like honestly like the montage at the end was so good. The fragment collecting is kind of a mixed bag. Post that though, like I think it's above Onikakushi. I really liked Matsuribayashi. Kind of like Tsumihoroboshi, it's very melodramatic, but for me it just worked a lot better. Like I much enjoyed spending all that time in Satoko Hills compared to like the freaking rooftop duel or whatever. It just works better in my opinion, and it's a great finale. I kind of wish there was more to the ending. Like it just kind of suddenly ended with the cotton floating. Like I kind of wished for like an Umineko level finale, but I mean like maybe it was just the plan. Like before Go, I would say like it's fine anyways, but like maybe like because they give you the sword hint at the end, and how like relevant I think that might be to Go. By the way, while I'm recording this, I haven't finished Go. Like maybe it was just like planned that this wouldn't be the last stop in Higurashi. I don't know, dude. I don't know the lore. But anyways, I think it's good like this. So this is our list. Do we want to switch anything around? Himatsubushi's in a great spot. Tatarigoroshi and Tsumihoroboshi. This is probably the hardest one for me. I don't know which one I like better. Like I think there's just more bad stuff in Tsumihoroboshi, but I really don't like reading through the Satoko stuff in Tatarigoroshi. I'm just gonna put it above Tsumihoroboshi just because Satoko's the cover character, and we love Satoko around here. But they're like both kind of meh. Amusing tier, I like the position Meakashi at the bottom. It's great, but like just not as good as Watanagashi. This is a little hard for me too, but I do think Matsuribayashi was like a really fun finale. Again, intro and finale, both, it's fitting that they're side by side. And top tier is definitely safe. Like I love Watanagashi for the reasons we listed, and Minagoroshi just has like the best ending. by far. Like, I loved it. Like, I literally like recorded a 3 or 4 hour episode just because I couldn't stop reading. once Oishi died, I literally just couldn't put down the visual novel because I was so invested in the story. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you haven't checked the channel, please consider it. Maybe liking and or subscribing for some nice Higurashi content. We like Higurashi around here, and we'll continue. Like, we have all this to freaking read. I don't even know how long this is gonna take, but lots of Higurashi to come. And, you know, what did you think of this tier list? Do you agree with my takes? Do you disagree? I feel like there's probably some disagrees with these two, because I feel like at least Tsumihoroboshi people like a lot. But yeah, I think that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and have a great day / night. Peace.